So I went ahead and tried to just stitch little pieces together so that when I put the tape around it, these areas, well, that may not work either. I may have just messed this up more. I feel really bad for whoever gets the sail after us.
Last time on MJ Sailing, we explored the settlement of Hopetown and took in the view from the top of the Albo Reef Lighthouse. And came across a West Sail 32, which had encountered terrible conditions on a trip from Puerto Rico to Florida and ended up on the north beach of Powell Cay.
As you can see now, we have finally dropped the sail so I can work on it. It started out actually a beautiful and calm morning, but since then the weather has picked up and I probably won't even be able to fix this because we have a northern coming in. But, hi Georgie, looking at the sail now, you can tell that it's not even necessarily the seam that has ripped. It's just above it. And so I'm going to be taking some dacron sail material tape and trying to piece this back together and sew it. But unfortunately, now that we have it down, it looks like a lot bigger of a project than it initially did. But all I can say is thankfully we will have a new sail waiting for us in Florida in a few weeks and don't have to worry about this one anymore.
We noticed in our past sails that we're getting about 5 to 10 degrees of weather helm that we need to adjust the rigging to correct. We also needed to adjust the inner forestay tension since it was just a bit too loose.
Back to trying to repair the sail today. Yesterday, right around lunch, we were able to get it down and on deck, and I started the repair of the, the T part, the smaller. And then due to a front heading our way and we were in a harbor with no protection, had to kind of bundle that up here in the cockpit.
We folded it real well.
Yeah, it was kind of like oh crap, we better go move the sail. And so now that the winds have died down a little bit today and the rain has stopped, yes, and this is what we've been wearing in the Bahamas for like the past 2 weeks now. Lovely, isn't it? I can get back to some sail work right now. I have got one patch done here, but now I have the really long line going along the leech of the sail, probably about 2 feet in, which actually tore above the previous seam, so it must just have been weakened fabric. So I've got my dacron tape, is that how you say it?
Dacron.
Dacron. Must be a Harry Potter thing.
Dacron metal boy or whatever.
Dacron. I've got my dacron tape here, and so now I will have to do the long patch, tape it in because I don't want to put any more unnecessary holes in there. Won't get it done today because it's going to be getting dark here in about an hour, but hopefully tomorrow or the next day I'll have some time between storms, and then maybe after that we can do a test sail. Yay! But I'm still so happy that this sail is going off our boat within a few weeks because our new precision sail will be arriving and we can have a brand new sail to sail on.
before I go ahead and put the dacron tape on this, or the Draco Malfoy tape as it shall now be known. Just kidding. I wanted to make sure that these two edges were going to try and sit as aligned as possible, I guess you could say. And so I went ahead and tried to just stitch little pieces together so that when I put the tape around it, these areas, well, that may not work either. I may have just messed this up more. I feel really bad for whoever gets the sail after us. I was gonna just try and do a tape around it, but now I'm realizing that this is probably going to need to be sewn the whole way.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll have to go back and do that now. Lesson learned. Alright, more boat projects. What have you got going on here?
Tightening the brake.
Yes.
We noticed when we initially put the mast up, we did just a basic hand tightening of everything. Did basically one more tightening, one more turn on the turnbuckles after we hand tightened it. Got everything aligned nice and straight, basically the way we wanted it. Once we were able to sail it a little bit, get the initial stretch out of the shrouds and everything like that, now it's going through and tightening everything back up. Big thing is, of course, making sure the mast is still straight. Trying to induce a little bit of pre-bend into the mast, kind of a little, if you look from the side, so it bows out in the middle a little bit. So trying to induce a little bit of that, and just going through and making sure that we have everything tight. The way it's sailed right now, would be the leeward shrouds. Yeah, so it'd be the leeward shrouds. Were kind of loose, flapping in. We're flapping around a bit more than what we want, so we need to tighten everything up, and that's what we're going through today. There's nothing else to do since it's crappy weather again. Still, yeah. So I figure this would be a good day for it. The wind actually died down a little bit, and that was the big thing, is so I could put a plumb bob on the main halyard and figure out how much rake we actually have into the mast at this point.
Georgie hangout, just so you know, cat. Okay, so day 2 on sail work now. You can see that I have fully stitched the tear, and yes, I know there's a little bit of bunching there. But I've now gotten it at least all pieced together through the whole tear here. Looks a little bit like Frankenstein's monster, but it's going to be covered, so that's okay. Because my next step now is I have this long strip of dacron tape, which is going to sit here. It'd probably be easier if I had someplace to put my camera. I'm only going to do the one side of the sail, and let's take a look at the other side. Matt has a sneezing fit going on down below. So from the other side here you can see where it has been stitched where the sacrificial sail cover meets the sail. And again, if we were keeping this sail, I'd probably be doing a much better job, but this just has to last us until we can get back to Florida to pick up our new one in about 2 weeks. So on the back of the dacron tape here, you can see I've got the double-sided tapes. And so we're using Sailrite's 3/8 inch basting tape for sail making and vinyl, which means that it sticks to sail material better. And for this reason, I know there is actually adhesive backed tape that, you know, you peel off the whole thing and you can just stick right on there. But the truth of the matter is, it is at the back of our aft cabin. And even though Matt offered to go get it for me, I told him that I was fine this way, so I'm doing it a little old-fashioned. So, get this working, hopefully get the sail up today, and now that our bad weather has passed, maybe take a nice sail back to Hopetown. Finally got out of Marsh Harbour, hopefully for the last time, even though we do like it. A nice place to get things done, but we're ready to move on. And unfortunately we are a little close hauled right now, so we've got the main up and we're motor sailing because the wind's coming out of the northeast and we kind of have to head northeast until we can drop south in the Sea of Abaco towards Elbow Key. So engine's going, charging the battery. I never got my coffee this morning, so I'm gonna go ahead and make us a couple cups of joe and we can sit outside and wait to unfurl my fixed head sail. Hi, Georgia Cat, come here.
Georgia girl want coffee?
Coffee?
Watch out, it'll stunt your growth.
Nah, that's how I want it.
That's all rusted out already?
Yeah, I never know. If we need to pay this cup holders a little attention.
Do you have the mic on?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are supposed to be stainless steel. I don't know what grade it is, but this is after only a couple of months.
That's the inside? Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, pretty bad. So they'll need some good cleaning, and I'll throw some wax on them, and hopefully they'll stay okay for a little bit longer.
Engine is off, and we are sailing! Sailing! Finally, I think this is our first real sail since the Gulfstream crossing, where we haven't needed some kind of engine assistance, unfortunately. George is excited we're sailing.
Nope.
Georgie's so happy the engine is off.
Engine is off!
Yay! We're sailing, cat! trying to find the wind, but it keeps going in and out on us. So we are cruising to Hopetown at a lovely
2.8.
2.8 knots. That's alright, we have no place to be, but what we do have is people breaking in my conversation. What we do have, damn it!
What we do have
are some awesome views of the breakers coming in from the Atlantic, but there's no way you'll be able to pick them up on camera here. And we also have
love.
Well, there's always love. Sunshine! The sun came out for a minute, and we are going to fully enjoy it because who the heck knows when we're going to see it again. I can see the Hopetown Lighthouse. Final destination of the day. Back and forth. We're coming for you, Hopetown. Back in Hopetown, unfortunately probably a short stay, just kind of positioning ourselves to make our way further south. I think we'll be hitting the Berries next. Harbour Town, I think, is the town you kind of sit at before you jump out. So we'll just spend a day or two here to kind of finish up our boat projects, but obviously a much prettier view. We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you liked it, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and check us out on social media for more up-to-date reports on where our travels have taken us. Join us in the next episode of MJ Sailing, where we're able to get ourselves to a new location and have a beautiful sail south with full sails up. Although it wasn't our planned destination, we found ourselves anchored at Lanyard Key and had another chance to bring Georgie ashore to wander and do a bit more exploring of this stunning island ourselves.